Hello student, today's topic to be discussed is selecting activities and instructional strategies. Introduction. Teaching quality physical education to typically developing students is a demanding and a challenging undertaking that require motivation, basic extensive knowledge, a lot of practice and appropriate feedback from skilled observers. The physical education teachers who work with students with unique needs face additional challenges that have not been traditionally emphasized in teaching programs. These challenges include writing goals and objectives for individual educational program or individualized family service plan, adapting activities, analyzing activities, breaking skills into smaller parts, providing appropriate prompting, training, and managing volunteers with working, parent, and allied professionals as a part of an interdisciplinary team. Effective structural learning will assist the teachers building an appropriate physical education environment. Selecting activities through humanistic philosophy. Teachers of adapted physical education who implement individualized physical education program of a high quality believes in its participants' inherent worth and are dedicated to the development of their full human potential. Humanistic philosophy emphasizes the pursuit and teaching of qualities such as creativity, choices, awareness, and personal and social responsibilities. As the student with unique needs take part in physical education, it must be established that physiological needs, that is food, water, appropriate medication, temperature, have been met. Then playing area, gymnasium, must be free from danger that build trust and confidence. In the terms of Maslow's third tier, belonging needs accepted and appreciated by their peer groups and teachers. Students must feel safe and accepted before they can benefit from instruction that will improve competence and lead to enhanced self-esteem. Once basic self-esteem needs are met, the individual might be lead to feeling of self-confidence, worth, strength, capability, and adequacy of being useful and necessary in the world. This arrival at the self-actualization level further divided into self-actualization, enlightenment, and aesthetic, creative level can be attained only to the degree that a student feels at home in the world. Maslow's theory of self-actualization contains a pyramid. This pyramid base started from physiological needs. Then it reached to safety needs, then belonging needs and esteem needs, then self-actualization, and reached at the top being needs. Then it fulfilled the Maslow's theory of self-actualization. The next topic to be discussed is selecting activities through applied behavior analysis. There is a rich tradition of employing the principles of applied behavior analysis to the teaching of physical education skills to students with unique needs. Succinctly stated, applied behavior analysis involves the changing of behavior through the careful application of learning principles. B.F. Skinner's work has been applied widely in the teaching of students with unique needs. Skinner stresses carefully selected consequences could change the likelihood of the behavior that preceded it. Although consequences can be negative, punishing to the individual, thus resulting in a decrease of behavior, but Educator working with students who have unique needs concentrate on positive reinforcing, that is rewarding, behavior that are helpful to the students, thus increasing the likelihood they will occur again. So, educational approach for students with unique needs can be used. The strategies derived from applied behavioral principles, it is behavioral modification. Next topic to be discussed is selecting instructional strategies to meet individual differences. First and foremost, we have to look at the student as individuals in the following way. Number 1, curriculum option. Number 2, activity modification. Number 3, teaching style. Number 4, class format. Number 5, an instructional episode. Point 1. Curricular options. What to teach? Given that a significant number of students with unique needs are taught with their typically developing peers in integrated physical education settings, curricular modifications are often appropriate. This curriculum includes same curriculum, multi-level curriculum, modified curriculum, and different curriculum. It should be noted that master teachers generally have activity modification or options available for all students, thus appropriately challenging each of their own developmental level. In this way, everybody in the class is recommended without anyone being singled out. Next point to be discussed is activity modification. As discussed on deciding on the most appropriate curriculum, approach and activities to meet the individual's learning goals, it might become apparent that modification of activities are necessary if the student is going to participate successfully. Lieberman and Houston, Wilson 2002 have suggested that activity modifications can be broken down into 4 categories. Number 1, equipment. Number 2, rules. Number 3, environment. And number 4, instructions. Modifications do not have to affect every component of the activity. They should be limited to those necessary to meet individual needs. Number 3, teaching style. Teaching functions are usually performed within an instructional framework, a delivery system for getting contents to the learner. Many factors influence the choice of teaching strategy, including the content itself, the characteristics of the learner, objectives, and preferences of the teachers. Regardless of the teaching style used and the format of the class, it is important that teachers consider the instructional and managerial tone of the physical education classes. The tone is independent to both style and format and can range from clearly punitive, that is the punishing, to clearly positive and supportive. In regard to personal skills and preferences, Senditoff and Tannehill 2000 have pointed out that teachers perform better when they are comfortable with and have a belief in the styles being used. The 2 styles are reproductive style, that is command, practice, that's task, reciprocal, self-check, and inclusion, that's invitation. The another style is productive style, that is guided discovery, convergent discovery, and divergent discovery. Number 4, class format. Class format is an important instructional consideration related to teaching style. In this section, we will discuss 9 formats that have been effectively used in the teaching of adapted physical education. Number 1, one-to-one instruction. Number 2, small group instruction. Number 3, large group instruction. Number 4, mixed group instruction. Number 5, peer teaching or tutoring. Number 6, self-paced independent work. Number 7, cooperative learning. Number 8, reverse mainstreaming. Number 9, teaching stations, that is the task teaching. Number 1, one-to-one instruction. To promote acquisition, maintenance, and the generalization of skills, students receiving adapted physical education sometimes require a 1:1 student to teachers ratio. An approach to one-to-one instruction that is extremely successful in the teaching student with more severe unique needs is an instructional episode. Number 2, small group instruction. Within a small group instruction format, 2 to 10 students generally work with one teacher or teaching assistant. Next, number 3, large group instruction. In this format, the entire class participates at the same time under the direction of one or more teachers or teaching assistant. Next, number 4, mixed group instruction. Within a mixed group instruction approach, a variety of formats are used during the same class period. This format is particularly effective when students demonstrate different learning characteristics or are working towards the different instructional objectives. Number 5, peer teaching or tutoring. When peer teaching or tutoring takes place, lower skilled students are taught by their more highly skilled classmates or by highly skilled students from other classes. A second approach, class-wide peer tutoring or reciprocal teaching, utilize all students in the class as both tutor and tutees. Number 6, self-paced independent work. As the name of this format suggests, self-paced independent work involves students working on their personal goal mostly by themselves. Often, task card or input from the teachers or teaching assistant help keep the student focused on the tasks. Next, number 7, cooperative learning. When students use a cooperative learning format, subset of students within a given class work together to accomplish shared goals. This format can be particularly effective when the instructional objectives are effective in nature or target the development of social skills. Next, number 8, reverse mainstreaming. In this format, normal students join their peers with unique needs in the self-contained class, taking part in the movement activities along with them. It is important that students developing peers as these interactions provide benefits for all individuals. And the last, number 9, teaching stations, task teaching. Teaching stations allow the student to work on more than one task on the same time. On the teacher's command or when a student has completed specific activities, students rotate to the next station. The last and 5th points, an instructional episode. The instructional episode is based on principles of learning derived from applied behavior analysis. Although used most extensively with children who have autism, it is effectively used with a range of students. This approach has been used to teach skills including language skill, social skill, and fundamental movement skills. An instructional episode is a structured method that usually involves teaching in a one-on-one situation. Movement tasks are presented to the student in a series of separate brief sessions. A particular trial can be repeated several times in a row, several times a day, or for several days until the skill at hand is mastered. Next topic to be discussed is prescriptive planning and instructional models. Several curricular models developed since the 1970s have proven successful in providing a quality physical education experience for individuals with unique needs and have promoted when used as a guideline. These models can be helped in enhancing the teaching process and ensure that students with unique needs are taught efficiently and effectively, some of which are as follows. Project Active. The database gymnasium move, moving to inclusion. Special Olympics, I-CAN primary skill K3, Smart Start. Project Active. The active, that is all children totally involved exercising program was designed by Dr. Thomas Badola, 1976, to ensure that every child, regardless of special needs, would have a chance to participate in a quality physical education program. Project Active incorporates a test assessment, prescribe, evaluate, planning process, and includes normative as well as criterion references tests in the area of motor ability, nutrition, physical fitness, and posture. The database gymnasium. The database gymnasium is a prescriptive instructional model that provides information on effective managing the learning environment for individuals with severe special needs. The database gymnasium is unique in its delineation of applied behavior analysis techniques as a means of accomplishing meaningful learning objectives. The next point is MOVE. The mobility opportunities via education MOVE model is a top-down activity-based curriculum developed to assist students with profound disabilities to learn the basic motor skills needed for everyday activities in the home and community. The next model is moving to inclusion. The Active Alliance for Canadians Disability developed the Moving to Inclusion curriculum, which consists of 9 books available in English and French that address a variety of disability groups. Next is a Special Olympics. This is a series of sports-specific instructional manuals, each including long-term goals, short-term objectives, skill assessment, task analysis, teaching suggestion, progression chart, and related informations. Next model is I-CAN. I-CAN means individualized instruction, create social leisure, competence, associate all learning, narrow the gaps between theory and practice. Is a comprehensive physical education and leisure skill program for children with unique needs. The program is developmental in nature and provides a continuum of skills from pre-primary motor and play skills to sports, leisure, and recreation skills. The achievement-based curriculum ABC model, Wessel and Kelly, 1986. Next model is ICANN Primary Skill K3. The ICANN Primary Skill K3 is a physical education curriculum based on performance-based international model with instructional model with feedback method to improve and modify instruction based on student performance. From kindergarten through 3rd grade, Wessel and Zittel, 1998. Next model is Smart Start. This curriculum provides teachers and caregivers a developmentally appropriate movement curriculum for preschool age children for all ability, Wessel and Zittel, 1995. Conclusion of this topic. Teachers of adapted physical education needs dedication to development of students with their full human potential. Humanistic approach emphasizes the pursuit and teaching of such qualities as creativity, choice, awareness, and personal and social responsibilities. It is a hopeful and extremely positive view of human beings, holding that everyone, including clearly people with unique needs, has the capacity to develop a positive self-image, be self-determining, and be intrinsically motivated. Several curricular models can help to enhance the teaching process and ensure that students with unique needs are taught efficiently and effectively. With this point, let us conclude today's lecture.